Continuing on examples of why we should keep our mouths shut when God blesses us, part 2. Today we'll be reading in Genesis chapter 27 about Jacob stealing Esau's blessing. One day when Isaac was old and turning blind, he called for Esau, his older son, and said, "My son." "Yes, father," Esau replied. "I am an old man now," Isaac said. "And I don't know when I may die. Take your bow and quiver full of arrows and go out into the open country to hunt some wild game for me. Prepare my favorite dish and bring it here for me to eat. Then I will pronounce the blessing that belongs to you, my firstborn son, before I die." But Rebekah overheard what Isaac had said to his son Esau. So when Esau left to hunt for the wild game, she said to her son, "Listen, I overheard your father say to Esau, 'Bring me some wild game and prepare me a delicious meal, and I'll bless you in the Lord's presence before I die.' Now listen, now my son, listen to me. Do exactly as I tell you. Go out to the flocks and bring me 2 fine young goats. I'll use them to prepare your father's favorite dish. And take the food to your father so he can eat it and bless you before he dies." So first, what we see here is Isaac is blessing Esau, but then Rebekah overheard what Isaac was telling Esau, and Rebekah said to Jacob, so far, before we continue reading, he said to Jacob, "Listen, I overheard your father say to Esau, 'Bring me some wild game and prepare me a delicious meal. Then I will bless you in the Lord's presence before I die. Now, my son, listen to you. Do exactly as I tell you. Go out to the flocks and bring me 2 fine young goats, and I'll use them to prepare your father's favorite dish. Then take the food to your father so he can eat it and bless you before he dies." First, what we see here is Isaac was not being careful telling Esau the blessing, and then Rebekah overheard it, and then he's using Jacob and then Jacob is about to start stealing Esau's blessing. So let's continue. But look, we're going to continue. Now we're at verse 11. "But look," Jacob replied to Rebekah, "my brother Esau is a hairy man, and my skin is smooth. What if my father touches me? He'll see that I'm trying to trick him. Then he'll curse me instead of blessing me." But his mother replied, "Then let that curse fall on me, son. Just do what I tell you. Go out and get the goats for me." So Jacob went out and got the young goats for his mother. Rebekah took them and prepared a delicious meal, just the way Isaac liked it. So first, Jacob is getting the goats already. And he's going to put fur on him, just like Esau, to make him look like Esau. And then Rebekah's going to make the delicious meal the way Isaac likes it. Then she took Esau's favorite clothes, which were there in the house, and gave them to her younger son Jacob. She covered his arms and the smooth part of his neck with the skin of the young goats. And she gave Jacob the delicious meal, including freshly baked bread. So now, actually, here is when Rebekah dresses Jacob with fur, makes him look like Isaac. So Jacob took the food to his father. "My father?" he said. "Yes, my son," Isaac answered. "Who are you, Esau or Jacob?" Jacob replied. "It's Esau, your firstborn son. I've done as you told me. Here is the wild game. Now sit up and eat it so you can give me your blessing." Isaac asked, "How did you find it so quickly, my son?" "The Lord your God put it in my path," Jacob replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come closer so I can touch you, to make sure that you really are Esau." So now Jacob is tricking Isaac to think that Jacob is Esau. So Jacob went closer to his father, and Isaac touched him. "The voice is Jacob's, but the hands are Esau's," Isaac said. But he did not recognize Jacob because Jacob's hands felt hairy, just like Esau's. So Isaac prepared to bless Jacob. "But are you really my son Esau?" he asked. "Yes, I am," Jacob replied. Then Isaac said, "Now listen, my son. Bring me the wild game. Let me eat it, and then I will give you my blessing." So now Isaac, I meant to say, so Isaac So Jacob is going to bring Isaac a meal so he can bless Jacob. So Jacob took the food to his father, and Isaac ate it. He also drank the wine that Jacob served him. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Please come a little closer and kiss me, my son." So Jacob went closer and kissed him. And when Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he was finally convinced, and he blessed his son. "Ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of the outdoors, which the Lord has blessed. From the dew of heaven and the richness of the earth, may God always give you abundant harvests of grain and bountiful new wine. May many nations become your servants, and may they bow down to you. May you be the master of your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. All who curse you will be cursed, and all who bless you will be blessed." As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and almost before Jacob had left his father, Esau returned from his hunt. So Isaac blessed Jacob. Esau prepared a delicious meal and brought it to his father. Then he said, "Sit up, my father, and eat my wild game so you can give me your blessing." But Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" Esau replied, "It's your son, your firstborn son, Esau." Isaac began to tremble uncontrollably and said, "Then who just served me wild game? I have already eaten it, and I have blessed him just before you came. And yes, that blessing must stand." When Esau heard his father's words, he let out a loud and bitter cry. "Oh, my father, what about me? Bless me too," he begged. But Isaac said, "Your brother was here, and he tricked me. He has taken away your blessing." So Jacob, right there, just stole Esau's blessing. Esau exclaimed, "No wonder his name is Jacob, for now he has cheated me twice. First he took my rights as his firstborn son, and now he has stolen my blessing. Oh, hadn't you saved even one blessing for me?" Isaac said to Esau, "I have made Jacob your master and have declared that all his brothers will be his servants. I have guaranteed him an abundance of grain and wine. What is left for me to give you, my son?" Esau pleaded, "But do you have only one blessing?" "Oh, my father, bless me too." Then Esau broke down and wept. Finally his father Isaac said to him, "You will live away from the richness of the earth and away from the dew of the heaven above. You will live by your sword, and you will serve your brother when you decide to break free, and you will shake his yoke from your neck." So here you see Esau. So you see here, Jacob stole Esau's blessing because Esau was not being careful when God was blessing him. And also, the best way to put it is, Esau traded his birthright for a meal. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think down in the comment sections below, or any questions that you have. And please be polite and be respectful. God loves you, and I love you too. Bye.